Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. So we're finally going to be back talking about some mods. I've waited about 2 weeks after the multiplayer update has been out. I think that's long enough, and there's a good enough amount of mods out right now to actually talk about. Some pretty good ones have been updated, so I wanted to talk to you guys about three in particular that I think would be good to download together. Feel free to check them out if you want to. You don't have to download all three. You can download one or the other, but I thought these three would be good. Just like a good little batch to use together. So the first one I wanted to show you is a mod that enables you to have more workers. And this one is interesting because usually, or at least the mod that I remember that allowed you to have more workers, is you would have to press a button or something and it would just like magically spawn another worker here and they'd just be there. And if you quit your game or come back in, they were gone forever. You had to pop back in and just keep like spawning them in. It was kind of weird, a little janky. But this one is particularly interesting because you literally have to go into the config settings, and when you do that, you actually set up new whatever workers you want to put in. So I just did restockers. So as you guys know, you're able to have up to 6 restockers in this game, and that's it. It stops at 6, but because I added more, I have 11. So I added 5 more. And then what's really nice about this is you get to control the required amount of storage. You get to control the required amount of racks. You get to control the level necessary to unlock these next cashiers. And I'm assuming they're all going to be past whatever's past number 6. So if you unlock this last one and this was your last restocker that you had, you can set this one to unlock at store level 51, maybe. I guess this one says 55, but you could set it to 51, so the next level up you can get another cashier, and then maybe keep the racks the same, or you can change the racks. Like you can customize this stuff however you want. You can make it to where they have no requirements, I guess, if you want to. Also, like you can just make them all, like once you hit level 50, you could set it up to where all of the next restockers will be unlocked. Now, with this method, I'm assuming you're going to have to pay all of them too, which adds a little bit more balance into the game, because as far as I know, when you added in other cashiers and stuff with the other mod, they did not get paid. They were just kind of, they didn't really actually exist, but they did kind of. It was weird. But this one makes it feel a little more legit, like you're actually just adding content to the game in that way. And I think that's a little bit of a better situation. It feels a lot less cheaty. So if you want to do that, you can. It's a really nice mod, and I like the implementation, so check it out. The next mod I wanted to talk about was motivated workers. And basically, I know personally I hate chasing these guys around and clicking them in order for them to get a boost. It is really, really annoying. I hate chasing these dudes down. So basically what this does is you can go into your config settings and you can set up a percentage chance that every time these guys complete a task, they'll become motivated and boost themselves, which is really nice because, it's just, it kind of automates the system, and you don't have to set the percentage to like 100%. You can set it to something pretty low, actually, if you want to set it to maybe like there's a 5% or 10%, maybe even 15% chance that these guys boost themselves, just to kind of get these random bursts of higher productivity. That could be interesting. You can control it yourself. And then if you want to give them a more boost than what they're getting organically, that's on you. But I think it's pretty cool to have this. We can, I guess I could show you guys it in action. Let's go ahead and open the store, and we'll let some time play out or whatever so you guys can kind of see it. But yeah, if it wasn't such a tedious task to chase these guys around, like I wish you could just take out your tablet and there was like a motivation button or something that you could press to motivate your workers or something like that you could pay off. Now, the one thing about the self-motivation thing is I'm not sure if it costs money if they motivate themselves. I know it costs you money when you motivate them. I don't necessarily know if it costs money if they motivate themselves. So that's something to think about. If you think that it's unfair, that you think they should get paid every time, then that's another, kind of it's on you kind of situation. You decide whether or not you want to do that. There might be some settings in the config files to let you decide that. And I'll show you guys the configuration files in a moment here. I'm just in game right now, so it's kind of hard to show you guys it right now. So we'll get to that towards the end of the video after we talk about the next mod, if you guys are wondering what I mean when I say configuration settings. So I got these guys set to 50%, which I probably shouldn't have. I probably should have went higher for the purposes of this video, because 50% is like a 50-50 chance every time they complete a task that they'll be boosted, and that might be too low. I might have to wait a little bit to actually see them boost themselves. Actually, I think I set these guys to 50% too, so they might. And oh, there he is. He boosted himself. Okay. There we go. So yeah, here we go. You guys see they're getting the boost over their heads and I'm not controlling it. So there's a 50% chance that these guys will just boost themselves, and it just works out. I think it's much better than having to go and individually chase these guys around and like slip money into their pockets like a little creeper so they can so they can work faster. As I said, when you see these people motivating themselves, it doesn't appear to take any money from you. So you can kind of work that out on your own. I'm not really sure what to do about that part, but yeah, so that's how that works. And the other one, I don't have to really leave the game to tell you about this one. It's basically called longer boosts. So the boost that you usually give them, they don't last very long. Even when they boost themselves, like the little timer that goes down is pretty quick. And that may be a problem for some people. So longer boosters allows you to set a multiplier to determine how long the boost is going to last. So you can kind of get that balance between how often they get a boost and also how long it takes for that boost to run out. If you want, like, I don't know, higher boosts, higher frequency boost but shorter times. If you want shorter frequency boost but longer times, you can kind of use both of these mods in tandem to kind of figure that out. So that's the 3 mods. I think they work together pretty well, and you don't have to use all 3 of them, but it's a combination of ways that you can use them to your advantage if you want to really tweak your gaming experience to your comfort level. So check those out when you get a chance. But now we're going to talk about the installation, and we're also going to talk about the configuration files. So let's go ahead and close the game. All right, here we are on our mod screen here. We have our game directory here, and we have our mod folder over here. There will be a video down in the description if you do not know how to install mods. I have a full video tutorial. It has not changed from then at all. It's the exact same process. So if you've installed mods before, nothing has changed. It's all the same stuff. And if you haven't installed mods before, go back and watch that video. It's going to be in the description, and it will tell you exactly what to do as far as installing mods. But from this point on, I'm going to proceed as if you already know how to install mods and you've already done so. So let's go to BepInEx here. We're going to go to plugins right here. This is where your mods are installed, obviously, in the BepInEx folder. But where we want to go is config. This is where you want to be. This is where your configuration files are going to be. So we're going to look at more workers first, because that was the first one we talked about. So we can click on more workers. We bring that up. You'll get your configuration file pop up. Mine popped up on another screen, but here it is here. And you have your settings in here. So you got settings. This is to basically toggle the mod on, but you also have your cashier settings. You have settings for your restockers. You have settings for your customer helpers. And this is what I was telling you guys before. You can go in and set additional required store level. So how many additional store levels to add per each person. Make additional cashiers required store level. Take the value of cashiers increment required to level 1. So that's I guess that basically just defaults it to the first cashier. I guess I didn't mess around with this, so I don't really know. It says set the additional required checkouts count each cashier will require. This is like the, you got to do X amount of checkouts to unlock that. You could set this to 0. You don't have to have this at any, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that or deal with that. You can turn off the level. Like I said, you go in here and there's a bunch of settings. Each one does a different thing. You can tweak and mess around with those however you want to tailor to your gaming experience and how frequently you want to get your cashiers, how many checkouts they're going to have to do, how many racks you're going to need to have unlocked, what level you're going to have to be. All that is here. And you can do that for each and every employee in the game. Don't forget to, once you make all these changes, any changes that you make here, make sure you go to file and then save before you exit. And after you've got your settings how you want them to, once you saved, you can X that out, and then it's good to go. So let's look at motivated workers now. Same deal. Your config file comes up. This is all the settings that you can have in here. It'll automatically be set to true, which means it'll automatically work. And then if you look at the settings here, it says after helping a customer, the customer helper will have this chance percentage to get a boost, and it's basically from 0 to 5. I put 0.5, which is 50% chance on each one of these, but you know, it could be 100% of the time on your other employees, which I did do for my security guard and the cleaning lady, because they don't really do that much work. So when they do work, you can set them to boost. There's really no reason to have your janitor boost, though. Honestly, they do their jobs just fine. I don't typically use cashiers much, but I could have changed this to 0.5 or whatever. They all default at 100% though. So when you install the mod out of the gate, they're going to be at 100% boost all the time. So every time they do anything, they'll get a boost. If you don't want it to be that frequent, you can come here and change it. And as usual, like I said, make sure that you go to save after you change whatever you want to change, and then you exit out. And then the last one is going to be the longer boost. Same thing. There's a lot less settings here because it's a very simplistic thing. You can set your duration multiplier here to whatever you want it to be. In my example, in the game, I had it set to 2, so twice the amount of time for the meter to empty than the normal. But if you want, you can set it up to this looks like 100,000 times, which means they'll just be boosted for all of eternity. That's completely up to you, but that's crazy that it goes that high. That's insane. But yeah, you can set the duration multiplier to whatever you want it to be, and that'll do it for you. So that's the video, guys. If you want to check out these mods, feel free to do so. They've all been updated, and I have confirmed that they all are currently working, so you're good to go. Obviously, you're going to make sure that you have the BepInEx mod installed first. But if you watched my previous video on installation, you would know that already, so you should be already set up. I'll be covering 3 more mods in the foreseeable future, depending on the feedback on this video. If you guys like this video, you guys are leaving comments. It doesn't matter what the comments say. I don't care what the comment says. As long as you leave a comment, it counts. And you like the video, whatever. If the video gets enough of those things, then I will be making another video, and if it doesn't, then I will be releasing the next video whenever I feel like it. But if it does get a good amount of likes and stuff, then I'll get it out as soon as possible, which will probably be the next couple days or whatever. So we'll see how that goes. Outside of that, you know, just be on the lookout. Make sure your notifications and stuff are turned on, and yeah, see you guys on the next.